my whole life has been backwards if you ask my mother. So.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Well, I'll let you. I'll let you
All right,
start.
well, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome you. My name is Paul Michael, and this is Tony Swantak. We're with Snap Delivered. And what we're going to do real quickly, someone invited you on. We are in a pre-launch stage for a restaurant delivery service. Actually, a lot more than just a restaurant delivery service. We'll get into that a little bit more, but we're really, really excited. We are about 60 days away from a full launch. September 1st is our projected launch date nationwide. Then we're going to go worldwide and dominate and all those words people love to use. But so we're really, really excited. I'll tell you a little bit about my background, where I come from. I was born and raised in Texas. My first job ever was in a country club waiting tables on some very, very, very wealthy and successful people. I got to drive the nicest, most expensive cars you've ever seen, but I only got to drive them like 40 feet to valet park them. And so at 22, I got introduced to an industry in the networking industry 24 years, something like that ago. And I got really excited because I finally started learning from people that taught me, hey, you know what? If you can find an opportunity, it doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter what kind of education you had, as long as you're willing to learn from people and apply yourself and find opportunities where other people don't see opportunities. And so that's what we've done, Tony and myself, both of us, over the last 20 years. We've worked in different businesses together, been successful on our own and together. And about 4 years ago, Tony came to me, and they were very, very successful already in the restaurant delivery service. I know you've heard of Uber Eats, DoorDash. I didn't really understand those companies at the time. I didn't understand delivery. I was not one of those kids that said, man, I can't wait till someday I can be a delivery driver. When they brought it up, I thought they've lost their mind. Then I got divorced and I delivered a couple $1 million to my ex-wife. So I figured, hey, you know what? I must be pretty good. Yeah, that makes it pain hurtless a little bit. But so I really got excited about it, but I didn't really understand the whole industry. Tony and Mike, educated me on it. I started getting more excited. They were growing at a phenomenal rate. We opened Florida together. We did some different things. They ended up selling one of their companies. I ended up trying to go forward. One of the things I never understood is why restaurants would be willing, if you don't understand the restaurant delivery service, what usually happens with a lot of these major companies, DoorDash, Uber Eats, why these companies are getting billions of dollars in funding thrown at them is because they go to the restaurants and they say, hey, for the pleasure of, for the service of us taking your food from point A to point B, we're going to charge you 15 to 30% on every single order. On a $100 order, 15% is $15, 30% is $30. And then there's other fees associated with it. And so I didn't understand it. I didn't think it was going to ever be something that would viable long-term. So Tony and I put together a program, and we've already been successful. Tony's been way more successful in this than I have, but put together a program now that gives people the opportunity to get started with us, build a company within our company. And let me tell you, I spoke to one of our newest reps today, and they were told, we were going back and forth on Facebook, and they said they ran their own numbers and they were so excited about our pay plan and how things worked. That's going to pay anything more out than anything in the industry. And let me tell you something, go to Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and ask them to get involved and say, hey, I really think it's a good business. I want to be involved in it. And they will laugh with you. They'll say, go fill out an application, become a driver. We give people the opportunity to actually work in the industry. And Tony's going to go through that. But I just want to let you understand who you're going to be working with. Tony is one of those people, like I called one of our friends. Tony and I have a mutual friend, and he's had a partner in business for 20 plus years probably. And I called Mike up the other day and I go, when Tony talks, sometimes do you ever just feel stupid? Because Tony's one of those people that like can take numbers and crunch them and make them make sense and make things make money, knows how to run companies extremely lean. And so he and I linked up, and I'm so excited to actually be able to work with him again. And he's going to go through, and he's our COO of our company, and he's going to go through and explain how our pay plan works, how you can get involved, and I'll jump off on at the end. So I'll turn it over to you, Tony.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate the kind introduction, guys. I've known Mr. Paul Michael for a little over 21 years now. He was a mentor to me when I first got started in business, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't realize. When you start out in the business world, very seldomly do you find individuals who are successful that will in turn share their knowledge, share information and their insights and help you succeed. And that's one of the blessings that I had is Paul was extremely successful, a top producer, and he was somebody that really was traveling around the country training people like myself who were, kind of bright-eyed and ready to go, but no idea which direction to go. And he helped to guide us. And so it's always been, awesome when I can lock arms with Paul. We've had a lot of success in the past, and we're really excited about where we're headed in the future. So I'm going to run through a quick overview for you guys, and then we'll kind of, let our CEO close it off. But let me share my screen real quick, and we'll go through just a quick slideshow. And it's not going to answer every question you probably have, but it's definitely going to give you enough information to know whether you'd like to learn more about Snap Delivered and what we're doing. Snap is a brand new company, pre-launched, pretty much the end of last month, participating in the $100+ billion restaurant delivery business, but we're capitalizing on the projected 100% plus growth within the industry. And we're really geared to disrupt all the major players within the industry. As a whole, it's a booming industry. 60% of US consumers are ordering delivery or takeout at least once a week. Forbes is projecting that as big as the industry is now, it's going to hit a little over $200 billion a year by 2025. So if you can take a business from around 100 billion and in a few years go to 200 billion, if you can position yourself in the middle of that kind of growth, there's massive opportunity to be had. The industry players are doing billions and billions of dollars, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. There's $100 million plus companies like Waiter, Delivery.com, Eat Street. One of the things all these companies are doing is everything the exact same way, which creates a lot of unhappy restaurants that feel like they're getting overcharged, drivers that feel like they're getting underpaid. Some of these companies peel off portions of their tips, and a lot of the customers are tired of hidden fees and charges and getting nickel and dimed left and right, not to mention really poor customer service from a lot of these providers. What Snap does is basically the opposite. We look at, the restaurants that are paying a fortune. If you have let's say you own a restaurant that's doing 20 deliveries a day with one of these providers, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, the average order about $40, you'd do a little over 284,000 in sales, and you'd pay just under 100,000 in delivery fees, $99,593 if you're paying 35% fees, which some of these guys end up nickel and diming their way to 35%, which is nuts, but that's what it is. And with Snap, if you did the exact same amount of orders, instead of paying 99,000, you'd pay 14,000. We charge $2 an order. $2 an order. If it's a $100 order, costs you $2. If it's a $5 order, it costs you $2. It's an $84,000 savings on an annual basis for a restaurant doing 20 orders a day. We've got restaurants that we've already been in contact with, getting ready to launch with, that will save millions of dollars a year. Some of them will save over 1.2 million a year on their delivery fees. Now, the bottom line is if you've got a smaller restaurant or a large restaurant, savings is savings. So if you're going to save $1 million, that's great. If you're going to save 5,000 a year, that's great. That's money in your pocket. So a lot of restaurants are excited about working with Snap. There's no commission fee of the 15, 20, 30, even up to 40%. We have the flat rate, $2. Everybody's a member pretty much. Our restaurants, they pretty much are going to be flat rated forever, and potentially down the road, Paul has shared with us some vision. It might not be, in 2021, but down the road, he'd like to charge them nothing. So that's something that, even though $2 is amazing and it's crushing the competition, imagine being able to tell a restaurant, listen, we're going to work on a way to get that down to zero. So that's the plan. Restaurants are paid instantly, drivers paid instantly. There's no hidden fees for our customers. The executive team is second to none. We've got Mr. Paul Michael. He's built several multi-million-dollar companies. I've been able to learn from him, and then I've gone on and built some large companies in the delivery business space. We actually sold a third of our business to a company called Eat Street, and we merged with a company called Delivery.com a year ago in July. My company was number 411 in the Inc. 500 last year. That's one of those things where I understand how to pump out millions of deliveries, and we were doing the same model. We were hitting people for 20, 25, 30%. And that's just what we did. We didn't think about reinventing. We didn't think about disrupting, but that's what Paul has created with Snap Delivers. So we've got the ability to really disrupt the industry. And our senior advisor, Mr. Jason Bryant, when he was 23 years old, he sold his company that he started when he was 18 called Auto Cricket. You can Google him. He sold that company for over $80 million at the ripe old age of 23. Then he's created several multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar businesses over the last decade. And he's one of our, good friends. And more importantly than that, he's a key business advisor to what we're doing with the Snap Delivered family. To get started, it's really simple. It's free. You can sign up through our website, snapdelivered.com. We're building our apps right now. You'll be able to sign up through the app as well. If you want to do more than just become a customer, you can actually become what we call a manager. It's an annual fee of $299, and that gives you a little bit more income and the ability to build an organization and earn income off of other people getting restaurants, drivers, customers. So I'll go through how you earn money, because that's why a lot of people tune in to overviews like this. There's really 4 ways to make money with Snap: refer customers, refer drivers, refer restaurants, and refer managers. And we train you every step of the way on how to do it. But to give you an idea of how this can pay out, every customer you refer is worth $1. So if you tell me about Snap Delivers, I place an order for delivery, you get paid $1. If you introduce a restaurant to Snap, every time they fulfill an order, you get 40 cents. Now, again, $1, 40 cents doesn't sound like a lot of money, but let's just say you introduce 10 restaurants that do 20 deliveries a day. And this is not setting the world on fire. This is not really breaking records, but 20 deliveries a day is a decent little number. 10 restaurants, 20 deliveries a day each. That's 6,000 orders a month through your 10 restaurants. At 40 cents an order, you're making $2,400 per month. And the other thing that's beautiful about this is it's residual. People eat 3 times a day usually. People who order delivery consistently order delivery over and over and over again. We did millions of deliveries with my last company, and we still do with our partnerships. But 85% of our customers on a daily basis are repeat customers. So when you build up this type of restaurant group in your family, in your Snap family, they're delivering 20 orders a day, 20 orders a day. So this month you make 2,400. Next month, 2,400. What if you added 10 more restaurants? You could potentially double that number. But this example, let's just say you did 10 restaurants. What if you also introduced 10 drivers? I want to go through how it can get a little bit bigger if you start to refer other people to the Snap family. 10 restaurants, 10 drivers. You make a percentage every time a driver does a delivery that you refer. So with 10 restaurants and 10 drivers, instead of making 2,400, now you're making 3,600 per month. Those 10 drivers doing all those 6,000 orders, that would help you earn another 1,200 on top of your 2,400. So just your own efforts. You never have to introduce anybody. You never have to recruit and build a team or train anybody. Just by getting some restaurants and drivers, you could make over $3,000 a month, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, as long as Snap's pumping out deliveries. Let's say you introduce 3 other what we call managers to the company. There's people that pay that $299. They want to build an organization. They want to get restaurants, get drivers. You actually earn 10% off what we call your level 1 organization. So these 3 people, let's say they did the same thing as you, 10 restaurants, 10 drivers each. With 30 restaurants and 30 drivers on your level 1, you'd make an additional $5,400 a month. That's on top of your $3,600 from your own personal restaurants. What if those 3 managers introduce 3 people each? Now listen, some people will introduce 0. That's going to happen. We have individuals that have personally already introduced 10 people within their first 48 hours. So some people will introduce 0. Some people will introduce 10. Some people will get 10 restaurants. We have a gentleman that's working out the start of 2,000 restaurants onboarded, and down the road, 20,000 restaurants onboarded. Imagine having 20,000 restaurants and you make 40 cents every time an order goes out from one of those 20,000 restaurants. Every single day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So again, most people aren't going to go get 20,000 restaurants, but we've got people that are pretty much pacing out to do that. But on your level 3, if everybody just got 10 each, that's 9 people, 90 restaurants, 90 drivers. That would put another $8,100 per month in your pocket off your level 2. If you add all that up, that's over $17,000 a month in residual income, because you've got 12 people that you yourself and you taught your 12 people how to go get 10 restaurants, 10 drivers that were pumping out 20 orders a day every single day. It can add up, it can happen, and we've got people that are doing it. So bottom line, how do you do it? If you're sitting here going, this looks amazing, I could use an extra 17,000. Heck, if I just did a tenth of that, I could use an extra 1,700. Like, why not? Like, if you had an extra $1,700 cash sitting in your wallet right now, is there something positive you could do for yourself and your family right now with that 1,700? I think all of us could. And the question is, how do I get a restaurant signed up? How do I onboard a driver? How do I tell a customer about the Snap Delivered app and the website? We train you every step of the way. We run trainings. We're running one next Tuesday. Every Tuesday evening, we run trainings to teach you how to onboard restaurants, to teach you how to go get drivers onboarded, to teach you how to go out and spread the word so you can get a lot of customers downloading the app, getting a lot of customers going to the website, placing orders, making $1 per customer. That example I showed you didn't even share with you getting customers. It didn't even share with you that we actually get paid levels below those first 3 levels. The first 2 levels in that example, you get paid 5 levels. You actually get paid what we call generational. So if you promote through our compensation plan, you could end up making a percentage infinitely down until someone hits your same promotion level forever. I mean, it's one of those things where it's extremely lucrative, and that's the beauty of Snap. You're in business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. We'll teach you and train you everything you need to know to be successful. The question is, how fast do you want to run? Do you want to get 10 restaurants in your first 10 months? That's so doable. Just set a goal to get 1 restaurant a month. We're not here to set your goals. We're here to help you achieve your goals. So if your goal is to go get 1 restaurant a month, great, go do it. If your goal is to go get 1 restaurant a day for the next 10 days, you want to get your first 10 restaurants in 10 days, that's amazing. The training that we have will equip you with all the knowledge, all the tools that you need to go out and achieve that goal. And that's what's exciting about Snap. And we've got some amazing promotions going on right now. And I want to have our CEO share his vision, share these promotions with us, because I'm telling you flat out, we're going to come out of the gates guns a-blazing, and we're going to have some massive, massive growth right out of the block. And there's going to be a lot of companies like Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub that 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road, 12 months down the road, they're going to wonder who the heck we are, where we came from, and how we're grabbing so much market share from these, overcharging, bad service providing delivery businesses. And the bottom line is they're ripe for attack. And that's what we're going to go do, guys. So I want to turn it back over to our CEO. I'm so excited with the promotions that he's come up with, and I can't wait till he shares them with each and every one of you.
And the last thing is, they're not profitable.
None of them are profitable.
None of them. I mean, the thing about it is, we talk about it all the time. These companies have been around for a long time. They keep buying each other up. They keep spending all this money. So like Tony said, well, I said in the beginning, we're about 60 days away from our launch. Tony, can you go to our website and go to where the benefits of being a founding member?
Absolutely.
So right now, like I said, we're in the process of, our websites are being built. I mean, our apps are done. We just have to make sure everything works correctly. We want it to be all perfect. So we're about 30 days away from being able to do orders with restaurants, and about 60 days away from doing a full-on launch. Our launch date is September 1st. But between now and then, I know some of you are going, well, I don't want to wait till then. I want to get started. I want to start doing stuff. So what we put together is a founding members program. And being a founding member of a company is amazing. Tony and I have been founding members of different companies on the other side of it, and we've been a founding member on the starting one. I'll tell you, using what we're doing when it comes to founding member benefits, I launched a company in the gold industry about 6 years ago. We went from having my ex-wife and I start the company to having over 2,300 reps within 6 weeks. So we've got 8 weeks, actually 8 weeks till today, since today's the 1st, till we start this company really and launch it. And we want to have momentum. What if you had 50 to 100 people ready to start out around the country, getting restaurants, getting people, getting customers, getting drivers, the minute we open this thing? So what you have the ability to do is become a founding rep. When we open the company, it's going to cost $299 to become a manager. Now we're giving a discount, because listen, we want to take the people that are serious. You'll pay $100 instead of paying $299. You become a founding rep. Every year after that, it'll go back to the $299 on your annual date, but that's built into our commission structure and everything else. But we wanted to give benefits, and I'm going to tell you a couple of benefits that you're going to get. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you, you didn't even talk about profit sharing, did you, on this?
No, none of that.
So we have a profit sharing program. I mean, I know there's some companies that'll give out stock options and things like that. We'll do all that stuff later on. But what we wanted to do is be able to give you the opportunity. If this company becomes profitable quickly, which is what we do, and that's what Tony does. I mean, I know his companies are always profitable as quick as possible because he says frugal, I say cheap. And it's the best thing to do. I mean, Tony runs a company and that's who you want as your COO. I was talking to some friends of mine last night. And I'm like, listen, I have friends of mine that they'll go on vacation and then they'll gamble and win 80,000 or lose 100,000 or rent Lamborghinis. I go, Tony's not that person, but that's the person you want running your company. There's the person you want running your company that can help make sure everyone makes money, and we run as lean as we can, but you spend the money in the right places. So you decide to become a founding member, and we'll show you how you can do that at the end here. You get free delivery for life. You'll never have to pay for delivery. You'll get a permanent. There's different levels. There's managers, there's rep, manager, supervisor, director, executive director. You get a permanent promotion to supervisor. And when you see our pay plan, which you can download on the website, it's snapdelivered.com. You can go down below. There's a little place you can download the actual and read the whole thing and all the smart words and great numbers that Tony put in there. But you get a permanent promotion to supervisor and you can never lose it. Profit sharing. We're going to give you a share, and I'm going to show you in a second how you can get more shares before we open, but you're going to get one share in our profit sharing, which let's say we get to a point, let's say we start out and we're doing 10,000. That's not a lot, 10,000 profit in a month, and there's like 100 people sharing. Guess what? That's not a lot. But guess what? What if we were doing 100? What if we were doing $1 million a month in profit? And you got to, we did 2% of that, or then it goes to 2 million, 4 million. You get to grow in that, and that's above and beyond everything else you get. So you're going to get special founding member only training. We're going to be doing trips. Tony and I, and companies we've been in, it's fun when you get to go on a vacation and the company pays for it. It's a lot of fun because you know what? Then you get to spend your money on what you want to spend it on that trip. Like Tony and I have traveled the world because of things like that. And that's what we're going to do. Stock options, we'll have it. Being involved as a founding member, you're going to get the advertising opportunity. We're going to have a co-op, and I'm not going to get into all that tonight, but we're going to be doing advertising co-op. One of the gentlemen who works with us directly is Michael. I am not even going to try to say his name because I'll butcher it. But Michael Kalkis, if I said it wrong, he's going to hate me. But yeah. So he is amazing when it comes to creating and generating leads. You're going to have the opportunity to share in that. So also, for every 5 people between now and the time we launch, every 5 personally sponsored people that you bring into the company, every time you get 5, you're going to get an extra share. And some of you've already recruited people and brought people in, but every time you get 5 people, you're going to get another share. What if by the time we open, you have 5 shares, 10 shares in that profit pool? That could be huge. I'm telling you how big that could be. So I want to go down real quickly and show you how to do it. If you'll just click on there right here, Tony, I want to show you what you're needing to do. Just go in there. You'll go in there and I want to show you where you're going to put the person that you can hit that add to cart. You get a love letter from me when you first start. So that's worth it right there. And then just check out. I just want to show them where to put the name. So right here, what you're going to do is, you probably don't want your address. If anybody wants Tony's info, you just got it. Just kidding. So introduce to Snap Delivered. You're going to put your name. The person that invited you to enter the company, you're going to put it right there because you want to get credit for it. They want to get credit. You want to get credit. So you can send people to this website. They can sign up anytime. And what's really exciting for us is this, and I'll close real quickly, is I got started in this industry and I didn't know if I would stay with it. I knew we could make a lot of money very quickly, but the more Tony and I've understood the business, I mean, and he'll tell you, you evolve, you become better at it, you find things that work. This is not the same industry now that it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago or 7 years ago, whenever Tony got started in it, or even when I got started in it. When I first started talking to restaurants, you had to educate them on what delivery was. They didn't understand. They were like, what do you mean I'm going to pay you? I don't want to do delivery. We don't do delivery here. Now, every single company does delivery and they understand it. So now you don't have to worry about trying to educate them. Now all we got to do is show them, hey, you know what? This is all about going around tapping restaurants on the shoulder and going, you're getting taken advantage of. How about we stop that? How about we actually truly, they call their restaurants partners. They shouldn't be calling, they should call them sheep or something where they're shearing them and taking their money on a daily basis. We don't do that. And we also wanted to build something where we can take the skills that we know. Listen, working in a company, you can make a lot of money, but if you're not self-fulfilled, if you don't have a great relationship in your family, like money only makes you more of what you are, is what I was taught a long time ago. If you're a jerk, it makes you a bigger jerk. If you're a nice person, it makes you into a bigger person. I know a lot. Listen, growing up, I was never taught in school money management. I was never taught. I was taught, my mentor one time said, hey, everyone has cash flow. If you've ever seen people go, you got to have cash flow. You got to have cash flow. I had cash flow. It flowed in and it flowed right back out. My mentor taught me, listen, you got to have cash stick. And that's one of the things we'll do. Tony's one of the most phenomenal people I've ever met in my life when it comes to putting numbers together, creating, wealth and for himself and other people. And then on top of that, knowing how to keep it. So we have so many great things, and we haven't even scratched the surface of what we're going to do. So I appreciate you getting on with us tonight. We'll do these every Thursday night. We'll probably put this up as a video so that you can actually go and see this anytime you want. And I'm telling you, we got some really cool things that I'm working on behind the scenes, some opportunity videos, some personalized videos. We have people that are in the radio industry that are going to be doing voiceover work for us. So you've got an opportunity to take advantage of something. But we talk to 3 different types of people on a daily basis, and I'll leave you with this. First type person looks at this and goes, you know what? I'm excited for it. I'll be a customer, but I don't know if I can do this. It's okay. If you really want to figure out if you can do it or not, we're putting a system that's duplicatable, so it doesn't have to be predicated on you. But second type person looks at this like, you got more questions. You want to understand the pay plan. You want to understand how this whole thing works. It's totally new to you. Great. We understand that. We want to get it answered for you. Third type person's like I was. When I saw an industry like this, and I knew there were people like Tony and people like Jason and people that had a vested interest in whether I was successful or not, it was a no-brainer for me. And what we've already done in a week's time, we've signed up an enormous amount of people in a week's time. And we're just scratching the surface. So you're in the right place at the right time. But they always say, being in the right place at the right time isn't all it's about. You got to take advantage of it. And I'll leave you with this last thought. My parents, I was born and raised in Texas. My parents are very conservative, never took a lot of chances. My dad worked for AT&T for 20 years. My mom worked as a school teacher. They never took opportunities. And when I became an entrepreneur and I wanted to do that, it blew their minds because they didn't understand it. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? That's crazy. And then my mom and dad, one day when we were driving by McDonald's, they go, and this is after I'd become successful and I'd done well. And I knew the story of it used to cost $7,000 to get you could get a McDonald's franchise for $7,000. You can't get one for less than over $1 million. And then you got to go to Hamburger University. You got to do all this stuff and you got to follow the rules and do everything. My parents told me they had the opportunity to buy one for $7,000. And I said, I'm not going to tell you what I said, but I did not have a warm, fuzzy feeling when we went by McDonald's, knowing that my parents passed up on an opportunity that we could have had. So I'm not saying this is your McDonald's opportunity, but I believe we come along 3 or 4 opportunities in our life. I believe this is poised with the team we have, the funding we have, everything that we have. It's a perfect storm and we're ready to go do it. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate Tony sharing that with you tonight. If you have any questions right now, you can always send them to paul@snapdelivered.com. I'm taking those. We're getting our support team put together right now. But right now, we're answering all the questions. We're working with people. But I would encourage you, go get your spot, save it, and start getting shares of the profit sharing. We appreciate your time, guys. Thanks, and have a great night.
Thanks.